Once I finally made it away from Muzan and Akaza, I scaled multiple flights of stairs and entered into countless rooms, all looking for Douma. That's when I remembered I should probably be keeping my guard up. Kokushibo is loose too. But so many thoughts flooded my head as I wondered if finding Douma was even possible. I couldn't feel him anywhere, and for that matter, I couldn't detect any much demonic power at all. Something about this fortress dulled my senses significantly. Not to mention, I didn't train them that well. Since I lived in a sanctuary of the ethereal paradise cult, how I longed for those walls that kept me so secure and protected from all evil. Besides, finding Douma, my other big concern was when I should take this make me human again pill that Lady Tamayo's cat had entrusted with me. This was the time I had to properly accept my fate, since more than likely I would die in the end. There was no way Muzan would let me free, unless we escaped somehow. This whole time, though, all the trial and tributes I faced, I wanted my life to be over. I didn't want to burden myself or those around me. But now that my fate seemed doomed, I didn't want to die. Being a demon made me reckless with my life. But now, in this situation, it was just as fragile as it was when I was a human. As I entered more rooms and ran up more stairs, I noticed something that I hadn't. The air around me was becoming cold. Freakishly cold than before. Not that demons need heat to survive, but it meant I was one step closer to Douma. When I first met him, the air around him was always icy and frigid, just like what laid inside of him. The night I saw him kill those 3 demon slayers was when he felt the absolute coldest. That's when his memory of the night overshadowed mine. I saw those 3 demon slayers die from his point of view, and he wasn't even trying. I could feel the lack of concern, the playfulness within him that I knew there was when it came to killing humans. But I didn't know how easy it was for him. Just how strong was Douma? That was something I honestly didn't know. As his memory ran in its course, I remembered how good my life had gotten over that. Slowly he had begun to trust me. He had let his guard down, and he became warm again. I never felt this coldness anywhere, though, at the cult. I guess that's where he felt safest. But he's not the same as he usually was. Someone did something to him. Muzan, for sure. He made him forget. And if that wasn't the rage I needed to find Douma and make it out of here alive, I don't know what I need. I followed the brisk air as I turned a corner and saw him, his back to me, as he overlooked the balcony ahead of the both of us. "Ian, right?" he said as his voice echoed. Finally, he turned around to look at me. How did he know I was right there? I guess his senses were too strong to be dulled. Before I could even blink, he was right in front of me, his gaze soft, but his guard up. Could he really think I'm a threat? Yes, I stuttered as my eyes began to tear. "Please, just remember me," I whispered. The carefree Douma I had seen earlier seemed to vanish, although he still felt so empty, just like when I first met him. "You're special to me, I know that, but I don't know why," he spoke, his hands gray and bleak. "You changed me," he said softly as he lifted his hand up to his heart. We didn't have time for this poetry, though. Our seconds were limited, and anyone could find us and tear us apart again. We had to touch. That's what gives Douma his memories back. Had he not put that together yet? Without a second, I grabbed his turtleneck, the tight fabric between my grasp, as I brought him close to me and planted my lips onto his. Soft shocks of electricity bounced between our skin as he kissed me back, our lips following each move. I felt the weight of his memories leaving my brain, his grip on my body growing tighter with each thought filling his head once again. Eventually, it got to the point where there was no more sparks, but just the sudden warmth of our two bodies close together. He dropped his menacing aura and the frigid air that surrounded him, and he kissed me like he always did. He pulled away, not saying a word, but looking deep into my eyes, the prismatic irises twinkling in the dim light of the infinity castle, just like they always had back at the cult. I just knew from the look that this was my Douma. His precious memories were now back where they belonged. Without thinking anymore, I kissed him again, his strong arms wrapping themselves around me instantly, once more as our bodies stumbled up against a wall. He pushed me up against it, with one hand around my neck as the other felt for a doorknob that led to a small room right next to the hallway we were in. He opened the door and picked me up. Sorry, guys. His lips never leaving mine as he shut the door behind him and set me down. Now his back up against the wall inside. Slowly we slid down so that I was in his lap, his hands all in my hair as I tugged at his turtleneck, wishing I could just tear it off. Even though it was reckless, we were bound to get caught in this situation. We both needed a moment to pretend like none of this was actually happening. Maybe Douma just didn't know how to handle losing all his memories and then gaining them all back at once. I can imagine it not being shocking, even to be expected. Or maybe we both knew that this was the end of us, and this would be our last kiss we would share. I wanted to pull away and think of a plan, think of an escape out of here, but at this point, I was tired of running and tired of being scared. I was in Douma's arms, sharing the same air, feeling his body get up against mine. It was where I felt safest. I didn't want to stumble to reality of what was truly happening. So I ignored my thoughts. I let my hands get tangled up in his hair. I let his hat fall off his head and his robes slide off his shoulders. I savored each moment in a way I hope I never have to, as if it was our last. And he did the same. His lips kissed me passionately, with each of his movements leaving me to guess what he would do next. He used his strong hands to grip my waist and bring me closer, forcing his tongue into my mouth as if he had never done it before. His breath was raspy and labored, as if he was holding himself back from doing other things. I knew we couldn't take this much further than it had already gotten, but in that moment, the whole world was quiet. It was as if fate was giving us this loving moment to delight in. There was no fear or sadness, just the twisted love we had to grow to need so much from one another. Okay, we're getting to an end of the story. Are you guys going to give the Shinobu fans at least something? I know you Akaza fans are gonna be like, what about my episode? But guys, we're doing Akaza and Shinobu at the same time. Can we agree that? I might do a one day Shinobu, the next Akaza, and then so forth. Because, man, Shinobu has been just dead, I guess. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you all so much. Bye. Mwah.